followed by semicolon, like this. Now, because this method is present in class test, it is member of class test, and because we are accessing it from static context, we are unable to call it directly. We need the reference or object of class test, which we can create like class name followed by object name equal to new keyword, then again class name. So with this syntax, we are creating object obj using which we can access the display method. So this is how we can access the display method. And when I now execute the program, I get hi as output, which is coming from the display method. So now let's start with the object-oriented programming concept. So this was necessary. That's why I have explained before starting the object-oriented programming concepts. So the first concept of object-oriented programming is encapsulation. So encapsulation is the very first and the basic concept. And according to encapsulation, the data and related member functions are combined in a single unit. So data and related member functions are combined as single unit. And for doing so, we will be using classes. So example for encapsulation is class. And by doing so, what we are doing is we are hiding the member functions or the data members of class from other classes or from outside world. So it is visible to only the class in which they are present unless and until some permissions are given. So we can control the access to these members using the access specifiers. So we are this way hiding data or functions, that is member functions or methods, using encapsulation. So providing more security to our code. So let's see a special example. Now here I'm not using that in the same class. I'm taking a separate class for that, like class A. Now within class A, I will be taking integer num1. So I'm taking an or integer value. So value here is the variable name, which is of type integer. Now let's take a string message, MSG message. So string type of MSG variable also we have taken. So now within this class, we are having two data members, and let's have a member function like void show. And within this member function, I'm going to display the value and message. So for that, system.out.println, and I'm going to display the value and message. So value is value. And in the same way, I'm using again a statement, println statement, and I will be displaying the message. So this message and value, we can assign values to these data members from the main method. So for doing so, again, we need to create object of A class. So I'm creating here the object of A class, and using the object here, I will be accessing the value. You can access message first or value first according to your requirement. So I am giving the value as it is numeric. I am giving 1, 2, 3, and I will be using next the value message, to which I am giving welcome. So you can see we are having value and message, and we have assigned from main method the values, and now we are going to display using the same object and the show method this way. So if I now execute the program, I'm going to get the value and message in this manner. So this values 1, 2, 3 and welcome, we have assigned it from main method. We can also access this value and message from other classes by creating object like this for a class. But in case if I here use the access specifier public, here you can see I have written private here, sorry, private, not public, private. So here it has given me error. The field A value is not visible. A dot value. A is the class name, value is the member of A, is not visible. So we are hiding it from other classes. Same way, if I make message also private, then again this MSG also will be not visible to main. So you can hide this way the members of class A from other classes. So if I make it this also private, then this will also show method will also be not visible to main method. So same way we can hide it from other classes by making the members private. So by using access specifiers like public, private, protected, and when we don't use any access specifier, it is a default access specifier. So by using this access specifier, we can control the access to the class members. So this is what is called encapsulation, when we combine the data and related member functions into single unit using a class, and we are by doing so we are hiding it or providing more security and protection to our data and member functions within the class. So that is about encapsulation. So example is class and it is used for providing security. Now let's see other concepts. So I'm removing this. So now let's go to the second concept, which is inheritance. So inheritance in Java is we are creating a new class by using features of existing class. So we are creating a new class and we are creating it by using the features of existing class. This can be more clearly defined as deriving a child class by inheriting features of parent class. So we are deriving a child class by using the features of already existing class which is acting as parent here. So that is what is called inheritance in Java. So for that I am creating here again a class A, and now let's create a class B. So I'm taking a very simple example here. Within the class A, I'm going to declare a variable value 1. And within class B, I'm going to declare a variable value 2. Now, from class B, I want to display both the variables, value 1 and value 2. So for that, I'm taking a function void show within class B, and within this function I'm going to use system.out.println, and here using this println statement I'm going to display value 1, which is this, and similarly I'm going to display value 2 also here. But here you can see we are getting error, value 1 cannot be resolved to variable. So because value 1 is present in class A, we are unable to access here in class B. So this is class A, and class A ends in line 20 and class B starts here and ends here. So within class B, we have only declared value 2 but not value 1. But we want to use this class member into this class. without declaration. So for that, we can just write beside class B extends keyword followed by class name A. Now by writing this, we are making class B the child of class A. So when class B is child of class A, it can use all the members of class A except the private members. So here now you can see the error has gone and we are now able to use value 1 in class B. So this way it is reusing the code in class B. So for code reusability, we don't require the redeclaration of value 1 in class B as we are extending A. So we are reusing the code of class A in B. So not just the data member, but the member functions also can be overridden or redefined here in class B. So we can redefine and called in class B. So we are reusing the already existing code in inheritance. So it is used for code reusability. Now we don't require the object of class A. By using the object of class B, like here I'm creating object for class B, and using this object obj, I will be accessing the value 1 which is belonging to class A, and then using the same object I'm going to access the value 2 which belongs to class B and assign value, and then I'm going to access the method show which is present in class B. Now if I execute, I'm going to get both the values displayed by the show method which is present in B, but value 1 is the data member of class A. So this way we are reusing the code which is already existing by using the concept of inheritance, which can be used by using the extends keyword in Java. So if you write beside any class extends keyword and the class name, then the current class will become the child of the class which is mentioned after the extends keyword. So this way we can use the concept of inheritance in Java programming. Now let's use the third concept, polymorphism. So that was inheritance. Now I am going to use polymorphism. So polymorphism in Java can be defined in very simple way as existing in many forms. So existing in many forms is polymorphism. So poly refers to many, morphism refers to forms. So the word itself here says existing in many forms. So we have in Java two categories or two types of polymorphism. So the first one is static, which is also called compile time. So the first type is static or compile time, and the second is dynamic, which is also called runtime, because it takes memory when the program is running or in execution. Whereas in case of static, the members are going to get memory already in the compile time. So this way, we have polymorphism in Java of two types. So now under static, we have the example as function overloading. So overloading is the example of static polymorphism. We can call it member function overloading or method overloading in case of Java, because the function is present within the class in Java as it is object-oriented programming language. We call it member function or method rather than function. So here we are calling it as method overloading, which is an example of static polymorphism. And for dynamic polymorphism, we are having the example as method overriding. So overriding here is example for dynamic polymorphism. So we can take just overriding or method overriding. So first we are going to see method overloading. So for that again I'm creating a new class. So here class A I'm taking. So here I am taking a method as display, and you can see there are no parameters in the parenthesis. So I have taken a method display without any parameters, and return type for it is void. And here using this display I'm going to display a simple message, welcome. So when we execute this display, we are going to get the message welcome. Now suppose if I copy paste this twice again, so you can see there is error, duplicate method display in type A. So in the same class, there are 3 methods with same name and same number of parameters. So function method overloading is method with same name existing multiple times, like you can see on screen, but with different parameters. So method can exist multiple times but not with same parameters. It has to be different parameters. It can exist with same name but not with same parameters. So method existing with same name but with different parameters is called method overloading, which is the example for static polymorphism. So here let's keep the first method without parameter. Second, I'm taking string MSG and I'm going to display here the MSG, that is message, and then here I'm going to take string. You can have different types of parameters also. So I'm taking here string, name and integer ID. So I'm going to display here name and ID. So name will be displayed first like this, and then I'm going to display the ID. So ID, we have the variable ID. So I'm not displaying any string for ID, just I'm taking name. N is uppercase, we need to give uppercase. The name will be displayed, a separator and the ID for the name. So if I want to display or execute these 3 methods, I need to call it within main. For that we need to create object for class A like this, and using this object we can call the 3 methods, that is 3 display methods, which will be called by matching with the parameters. So first one without any parameter, the second one with parameter as string message, which I am giving as hello, and the third one will be name and ID, for which I am giving as Rama for name, and for ID I am giving 1, 2, 3. So now when I execute, I get welcome, hello, Rama and ID. So this is how we can call 3 methods with same name but with different parameters. So the compiler will be matching the method with number of parameters and calling the relevant method. So next the topic is the second type of polymorphism, which is dynamic or runtime polymorphism, and for which we are going to take the example of method overriding. So overriding, the word overriding means we are redefining, we are giving a new definition to the already present definition. So we are changing the already existing thing, which is called overriding in Java. So in case of method overriding, we will be using inheritance. So it happens in inheritance when there is parent and child class. So let's create a child class. So I'm creating here another class B, and I am going to write here extends because I want to make it child of class A. So I'm here writing extends A. Now let's remove the two methods. Let's keep only a single method display here in class A, and in child class I'm going to write the same method, but here I'm adding nice to meet you. So you can see I have slightly changed the definition of display method. So here it displays only welcome, but here it displays welcome and it displays it with a message nice to meet you. So because we have here changed the definition, it is called overriding. And to apply it strictly, we can also use the annotation override. It is not compulsory, but when we write it, it checks that this method is a overridden method and the method signature has to be exactly same when it is a overridden method. So method exactly same as in parent class, but only thing is there is difference or there is change in the definition. So it is redefining the parent class method, which is display. Everything is same, only definition is changed or redefined. So that is called as overriding. And now when we use the class object, B class object, so I'm here creating object for child class, which is B class. And using this B class object, obj, I'm going to call display. So now when I execute, I'm going to get the new definition, but not the old definition. So it is displaying welcome, nice to meet you, but not welcome. So it is taking the definition of child class and which is the overridden or redefine change to definition. So that is method overriding in Java. Now the last topic is abstraction. So before going to abstraction, now in case if you want this definition only, then this also can be accessed, but within child class only. So this definition can also be used, but only within child class method only. So for that you can use super keyword to access the method of parent class here. So using super keyword you can access the parent class definition or method also within child class B. So that was about super keyword and also method overriding in Java. Now let's see the next concept of object-oriented programming. So that is abstraction. So abstraction is the last and important concept of object-oriented programming. So in case of abstraction, we just keep an abstract and the definition or implementation is done by the child classes or the derived classes. So there will be a class which contains only the abstract method, and that abstract method can be given implementation or definition by the child classes only. So we can achieve this abstraction in Java using classes and also interfaces. But in this video, we will be seeing only using the classes. So abstraction is hiding functionality. Hiding functionality is abstraction, and functionality or implementation is given in the child class. So we can in simple way also write it like showing only necessary details. Showing necessary details and hiding functionality. So we will be using abstract class for that. So for that, I'm here creating a class A. Now this class A can have an abstract method, which I'm taking again as display here. Now when I write like this, void display, and if I write here semicolon, this is going to be a abstract method because it is not having any body or definition. So if I write like this, it is not an abstract method. But if I write a block under it, it is not an abstract method. It is an empty method with no definition, with no statements. But if I remove this block, then if I write here semicolon, then it has no definition or body and it is called abstract method. So when there is an abstract method, the method has to be declared as, it must be declared as abstract using abstract keyword like this. And whenever a class contains at least one method as abstract method, then that class also must be declared as abstract because it will become then the abstract class. So the class in which if it is having 5 methods also and only one of the methods is abstract, then also the class is abstract class. So the important point to be noted for abstract class is it cannot be instantiated. That means we cannot create object for abstract class. Its members can be accessed only by its child classes. And also it can be defined or implemented only by the child class. So now let's create a child class for this class A. So class B. Now when we are creating class B, and if I write here extends A, now it has become child of class A. Now because it is child of class A, that is abstract class A, it is compulsory for class B to give a definition to abstract method display. So it has to, so I'm here providing implementation or definition for display. Now you can see the error has gone. If I remove this, we are getting error. The type B must implement the inherited abstract method of class A dot display. So now if I keep again, I will not get any error. So if it is defining the abstract method, then the error will go and only the child classes can define or give definition to the abstract methods. So here I am taking just simple welcome. So other than this display, it can have its own methods also. Like if I take display 1, I'm keeping a message good day in another message. So here I'm going to create object for class B. So before creating object for class B, let's check what happens when we create object for class A. So I have created here object for class A and you can see I'm getting cannot instantiate the type A. So because it is abstract class, we are unable to create object for it. So we are creating object for class B now. Like this. And using the object of class B, I'm going to call both the methods. So now if I execute the program, I get welcome and also good day message. So that was abstraction in Java. Here we are giving only necessary details or abstract, and the implementation is done by child classes. Not only class B, the other child classes can provide their own definition to the display method. So it is just the abstract which is provided by abstract class, which can be defined in different ways by different classes. So that was about object-oriented programming concepts in Java. Thank you for watching the video and please do subscribe the channel for more updates.